Hello, my name's Ross Constable and this is the latest in my Test It, Trust It series. Working with chemicals is a niche job, right? Well, you might be surprised at just how commonly chemicals are used within a workplace. Most businesses require proper cleaning regimes in place and they use off-the-shelf products or specialist and bespoke chemicals. Whichever chemicals are being used, it's still vital to have the proper COSH and risk assessments in place and the correct PPE to hand. Did you know that most end users of chemical protective PPE don't actually use the chemicals in the same configuration as which they've been tested? For example, you might provide your users with chemical protective gloves that protect against 65% nitric acid, but what if they're using 80% or even neat? What happens if they're mixing that chemical with another substance or handling more than one substance without changing their gloves? All these things can have a dramatic effect on the levels of protection offered, and without properly assessing the risks through testing, end users may be exposed to life-altering risks. So how do you ensure that you're selecting the right PPE? Well, it's not quite as simple as just matching the name of a chemical to a product. There are several important factors that need to be considered before making a selection. On average, how long is a user in direct contact with that chemical? Generally speaking, longer exposure times require more advanced protection. 2. Is the chemical being used only one in a sequence of chemicals, or is a mixture being used? Doing this can dramatically affect the ability of one of those chemicals to permeate through the PPE. 3. What concentrations of chemicals are being used? Generally speaking, chemicals diluted with water present lower risks, whereas those that are used neat or in mixtures present greater hazards. Chemical PPE is generally certified against a core list of chemicals. Take gloves for example, they can be certified against 18 different chemicals against EN 374. These 18 chemicals are designed to represent groups of rather than individual chemicals. For example, methanol is designed to represent all alcohols. The problem here being is that methanol and ethanol, whilst both being alcohols, are completely different chemicals. One you can drink, the others are poison. To make sure that you're getting the right protection for your workforce, it's vital to speak to professionals and experts who can give you guidance based on your environment and your unique hazards. At the very least, you should consider having your selected products tested at an accredited facility against your specified hazards, especially if they're not hazards from the core list. This comes at a cost, but compared to the cost of an accident if you've specified the wrong PPE, it's negligible. You can find a list of accredited test facilities for chemicals and chemical products through the link in the post. Thanks for watching this video. If you can test it, you can trust it. Look out for the next part of this series coming soon.